Hi, I'm Janis from JBMTHINKS Sports Parenting, coach's wife for 29 years and sports mom for 21. If you are a coach, whether you're a dad or whether you're just coaching kids in youth sports, I want to talk to you today because I have something very important to tell you. Let me tell you how this began with a story. My son used to play varsity basketball for a coach who, for some reason or another, every single year had a problem with selfishness on the team. There was inevitably every year, before my son played for him and after my son played for him, because we used to go watch the games, there would be one or two kids who would play selfishly. And there was even times when parents and spectators would be yelling from the stands, "Pass the ball, pass the ball." And it got so bad that the newspaper even pointed out and said things. And so when this happened, the coach, pulled the team aside and yelled at them, and it got better for 2 or 3 games, but then it went back to the way it was. And the other day I was watching, my son is 25 now, so he's very far removed from this, but the other day I was watching a video of the same coach and his team today, 7 years later. I was watching him coaching today, and I watched the players, and the first thing that came to my mind as I was watching is, nothing's changed. There's still selfish players on the team. And I thought, I don't think that this coach intentionally promotes selfishness, but he's not providing an environment where he teaches kids to be team players. He's not being proactive in teaching them to be team players. And I think that, a lot of times coaches, they're good. They know the sport. They teach the X's and the O's. They know the strategy. Great. And this coach knows the strategy. He knows how to do things well, but he's not teaching them to be team players. He's not teaching them the value of team unity and teamsmanship. And I think that that's such a huge mistake in youth sports. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are a coach, that you would be intentional about teaching team unity, that you would not just say, just let it happen, that you say, well, I don't want kids to be selfish. Well, of course, nobody wants kids to play selfish, but they're kids, and unless they're taught and encouraged to be team players, their tendency is going to be selfish, because that's the way human beings are. Now, being selfish doesn't mean that you take the shot when it's needed, or take a risk, or know that sometimes you have to step it up for your team. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being selfish in the sense that you're always concerned about what's better for you than you are about what's better for the team, about yourself looking good than what's best for the team. And I think that a lot of coaches are missing the boat because they're not being intentional about teaching kids what it means to be a team player. So I just want to encourage you, if you're a coach, don't just let it happen. Don't just assume they're going to figure it out. Be intentional about teaching kids to be team players, because this is a characteristic that they will need for the rest of their lives. I see it now in my 25-year-old son working in a situation. He has to be a team player, and sometimes it's hard. And so I just want to encourage you to don't just let it go, let it happen, just think that it's going to happen. Be intentional about teaching your kids on your team to be team players. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do that because I'm not a coach. However, in the post that has this video on my website, so if you go to my website and click on the post with this video, I am going to have in there listed several resources that you can go to for coaches that know how to coach, and that if you can ask them questions and just get their input on what and how is the best way for you to teach your kids to be team players. Let's be intentional about this, because it's something that they really need to learn for the rest of their lives. So have a great week, and thank you, coaches, for all that you do. We couldn't do youth sports without you. And parents, remember, be part of the Positive Sports Parenting Tribe.